Hello, Zach here. Welcome to another Fairytail arc review. And today we are reviewing the Sub-Zero arc. I am a little bit late on this. I watched it like about a month ago. I'm currently on I believe, what's the name of the arc? The Phantom Lord arc. So I'm on that arc. So let's talk about the. This arc begins immediately right where the last arc left off, with Natsu and Oza fighting, and then they steal a job quest. Yep, they steal a job quest, and they go on an adventure to go to Galuna Island. Yep, this is the Galuna Island arc, or the Sub-Zero Lyon Emperor arc. I just call it the Galuna Island arc. That's what most people call it. That's what most people call this arc, the Galuna Island arc from the fan base. They mostly just call it the Galuna. Even though the official title is the Sub-Zero arc, it's mostly called the Galuna Island arc in the anime. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, because this arc technically has like two titles, so yeah, you notice that a lot with yeah, yeah. But basically, this arc follows. It's more focused on Gray story development because we get to learn a bit more about Gray. Cool. And we learn that he was raised by his master Orm, who was pretty cool. And yeah, she's pretty cool. Nothing much to say about Orm because we don't know much about her backstory. We don't know who she is. Don't know that much about her. All that we know is that she trained Gray. That's pretty much all we know about her. Oh is a very mysterious character because we don't know much about her. But when we first get introduced to her, and even later on when they reintroduce her, they just have her reappear. And apparently, was the what I'm talking about. Was the reason why Leon is probably wants to destroy Dariola. If you don't know who Dariola is, basically a giant demon from the Book of Earth. Yep, got demons up this shit. Yeah. Also, I think this is like the first arc. Maybe they did it in the last arc, but apparently this demon was made from the Book of Earth, and it was huge. It was like kaijus, the demon of the apocalypse. I'm guessing. I'm just theorizing this, but I'm guessing this demon was made to fight Analogia. I don't know because from what we know from later on in the show, I'm just wondering if Dariola was there more to Dariola than what we know now. Also, most of our time is spent with Gray and learning his backstory. Not really much focus on Natsu or Lucy or Urza. We do get, don't get me wrong, they get their time to shine, but there's not. It's mostly the focus is on Gray, which is cool. And the fights do get better from here, even though they're not at their peak yet. Like I think the Leon versus Gray fight is pretty cool. I think that fight's pretty cool. And Natsu legit one shotting Devil is pretty funny. I find that funny. I don't know why. But you can see that Natsu's gain goo and power a little bit. Yeah, apparently. Mm. And also, I really, what do I think about this arc? I enjoy it, sort of. Well, I enjoyed the filler one. To be honest, I enjoyed the filler arc, the filler, the filler arc between Sub Zero, between the Sub Zero arc, and because Muzana gets introduced, and I adore that, and I want to know what happened to Muzana. What happened to Muzana? Who's Muzana? Who's she? Like, who's this self interest is Natsu? Like, I want to know. Even though I do. And then you got um this episode of them turning. I prefer the Muzana episode because we get to see how Happy was introduced, how Happy was born, and that's kind of cute. Yeah, I find that episode very heartwarming and very cute. Yeah, I enjoyed that one. And episode 19, the Sub Zero arc is not really. There's not really anything special to it from other arcs. It's just a great arc. Not much to it. There's not really anything to the arc that makes it stand out with the series. The island, where in a later arc there will be, we will perfect the island situation a lot better with the Tower of Heaven arc because that's also on an island. Well, it's on Facility Island, but it's island. It's on an island, and that's pretty much one of the best arcs in the first season. Yeah, can't wait till I get that arc. But yeah, I enjoy it. It's pretty good. Ain't gonna lie, I loved it. But with that said, it's not going to sign off. And how to rate this out of the arcs I've watched so far? I can't rate it. Anyway, this is not going to sign off. And remember, stay big. Fairytail fans, see you in the next one. Bye bye.